Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us here for another one of my WWE updates. Whilst in the recording of this, I have put a poll live which is basically asked how we're going to be doing this going forward. Whilst at the moment these kind of updates is winning by 1 on YouTube, it is a landslide for the other way on Twitter by quite a margin. So this will be the last kind of update, which is going to be covering about 4 pay-per-views and an NXT takeover, but it does mean going forward we'll try and go with the same method we had in TEW2016. So from our streaming in that particular pay-per-view, I'm also just going to record at the same time, so hopefully then it'll be the exact same kind of idea as you saw previously. If it comes to worse, I can edit stuff in the video, just basically saying and describing storylines as we go along. Now this is a week roughly before Crown Jewel. It's based in India in this one, obviously to cover Saudi Arabia not being in the game. So yeah, that'll be like the first kind of trial and we'll see how that works out. But yeah, we have a lot to catch up on since June. As you can see, 3rd week October, a lot has went down, an absolute lot has went down. I think it's probably even better if I start with NXT, because you didn't see anything of NXT last time because it was on a show. So we are still with the mindset of basically 5 takeovers. I've done In Your House and I've done Takeover Boston. The next one I'll be doing will be War Games. But you can see here, Revolution and NXT Wrestling. So NXT Wrestling is just your standard NXT show. NXT Revolution is a women's brand. There's so many talented females. I was struggling to fit everybody into one show. So I run 2 shows for 2 hours on the Wednesday. The Revolution broadcasts on the Thursday, and they're both A shows because I don't really care about the pop of the brand, but because I say it's a development company anyway. But yeah, it's been a pretty stacked roster. So I'd rather go through the show history first before we kind of look at who's there now, because obviously people have changed since then. So my first takeover, the main event was Johnny Gargano's farewell against Finn Balor, where he picked up the victory. In fact, that was Finn Balor's farewell to go to the main roster. To apologise, Gargano does make the main roster, spoiler. Io Shirai defeated Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. That was a simple case of keeping match the same and getting the championship off of Charlotte, and I went with Io winning as well because Rhea was destined for the main roster. I'd Adam Cole defeat the Velveteen Dream for the NXT title to keep that. I'd Karrion Kross defeating Pete Dunne. I had Keith Lee defeating Damian Priest to retain the NXT North American Championship. Jordan Devlin defeated Drake Maverick to defend and retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Drake Maverick has now left the company. And Tegan Nox defeated Dakota Kai. It will be said it was meant to be Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa, but Ciampa had a month injury, so that pulled him out of In Your House. But still crazy to get 10,000 attendance for that particular show. Boston was a wee bit different. I gave the Dream a title, as that was Adam Cole's farewell to the main roster. This was Gargano's farewell, but he defeated Tyler Bate. He wouldn't put him over, and for good reason, because Gargano has went from strength to strength. Tegan Nox got the chance to challenge Io Shirai, but Io with the victory to retain the championship, and Karrion Kross and Tommaso Ciampa finally came to a head in their matchup, with Karrion Kross winning. I've adopted a player coach role on NXT, so you'll see a lot of superstars. You're like, what? How are they in NXT? So Rhea Ripley got the win over Lita, giving that kind of player coach role to Lita for that one-off appearance. Mojo Rawley defeated Keith Lee for the NXT North American Championship. Keith Lee goes to the main roster. You're wondering why Mojo Rawley? Well, to explain that storyline, there was going to be a stable. It was a fit initially Karrion Kross with Scarlett, and it came up as no chemistry, so I went, cool. That's fine. We'll make a stable called the Scarlet Empire. The first person in to lead the faction was Timothy Thatcher, alongside the grizzled young veterans, and alongside Kelly and Dane. Timothy Thatcher and Scarlett have no chemistry. Cool. We'll just quietly move Timothy Thatcher out. Mojo Rawley was the next kind of guy that looked similar to them, so yeah, he's a leader for just now, and he can do that until he comes to the main roster and Mojo Bojo happens at one point. Isaiah Scott defeated Primo in a player coach role, and we had a fatal 4-way match for the tag titles, which saw the grizzled young veterans, the Undisputed Era, Imperium, and Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne, with the Grizzled Young Veterans winning the tag titles. It basically was to take the titles off of Aichner and Barthel because they don't click as partners. So instantly I've moved that to Aichner and Alexander Wolf. In other matches, Pete Dunne defeated JK, and JK Lassoy defeated Kendrick in London, and Chelsea Green and Aaliyah, the Robert Stone brand, defeated Mercedes Martinez and Jessie Camilla. So just looking through these shows, I'll just do my last couple of shows to give an idea who's on the roster now. So we've got Walter permanently. He'll obviously go to the main roster at one point. This stable here, in fact I'm going to click on it quickly just to quickly go through my stables and then I'll go back to it. So Bowen Enterprises has never changed. Imperium, usual 4, that's fine. Obviously we're sending him back because he's at NXT UK, so he'll change his name again to Fabian Aichner. Mistros del Cielo is basically a 4-team faction, Masters of the Sky translated, and it is Bandito, Dragon Lee, El Hijo del Fantasma and Flamita. My reasoning? Why not? It's a fun save, so sign whoever. So these guys will come in, give me some star power in NXT, give me some incredible workers, and obviously that's a lot of young guys that will benefit my main roster. Robert Stone brand, of course, Robert Stone, Aaliyah and Chelsea Green. Didn't split them up, I've just went to expand them. There's more on the way. And the Scarlet Empire, Scarlet leads the way, and she has James Drake, Killian Dane, Mojo Rawley and Zach Gibson for there. But you can see that I even typed in, they didn't click, so they went their separate ways, and Scarlet wants to take over NXT. So get back to the show history just to give you an idea of the people that have come in and signed. So obviously all of them are in here. Other people I'm kind of pushing as well is Bronson Reed, because it's another Australian for a stable you'll see in the main roster. Brought back David Boy Jr. because Harry's 33, so there's still plenty of time to push him. Axelin is a player coach, as is Justin Gabriel. And Trent Seven has joined his partners of Moustache Mountain, so they are British Strong Style, they're all here. And Ace Austin is in from Impact. And Walter is happy to put him over at one point, so yeah, got to look to do that. But he looks like he could be an absolute player. In terms of Revolution, plenty of names are in. Tony Storm's in permanently from NXT UK. Tessa Blanchard is in. We've also brought back Bianca Belair. I wasn't using her, so she's back down. Paige is in as in a 40 figure. We've brought back Tanyara Conte for depth and Crazy Sarah Logan. So let's have Crazy Mary Dobson mesh with Sarah Logan, and we can have an utterly crazy Sarah Logan. Priscilla Kelly's getting some victories. Tennille Dashwood's back to put people over, might get a main roster run. And Serena Deeb is a player coach as well. There are other plentiful superstars on the roster. We can just look and see who we can see. Alex Shelley as a player coach. Alicia Atoutin as a broadcaster, as is Andrea DeMarco. We also have, just looking to see, Britt Baker is in. We signed her, unfortunately on a deal with NXT, so I can't even call her up to the main roster. But we'll develop her well, and then if it comes to worse, I'll just release some sign-up to the WWE. Who else is in here? Chili Melissa is going to be a player coach. She's 38, so she'll put people over. And then in that coaching role, Chris Hero, Kurt Hawkins, Curtis Axel. Perfect workers, good workers that will put people over. No problem. As we say, Dragon Lee's in. He's only 25, so he's going to be an absolute star. Same with Flamita only being 25. It's perfect. Homicide is a player coach. Ilya Dragunov will come in permanently, and then probably here for about a year, and then he'll go to the main roster. Looking forward to using him. James Storm is a player coach. Justin Gabriel we know about. Carly Perez will come in as a manager. I just think, honestly, she was just incredible when she worked on Lucha Underground, and somebody that I'm looking forward to pushing as a manager in here. So maybe could have given her a bit better microphone skills, but it is what it is. Shibata is an agent. That's unfortunately all he's here for, but it was cool to get a name like that in the door. Player coach Mercedes Martinez, well, she's retiring anyway at the age of 39, so that's a bit disappointing, losing her so quickly. Paul Linden we know about. As I say, Priscilla Kelly is one we'll push. Plenty of time for her to develop into a fantastic worker. And do we have any other? Serena Deeb we touched on. Tyra Valkyrie's in from Impact. I thought, well, John Morrison's here, then she's more likely to sign, so it was a wee bit believable. Other player coach in the form of the Hurricane. In terms of people that are likely to be leaving shortly, Tony Nese's contract's expiring shortly. I'm just going to let him go. And the same for Nia Jax on the main roster. Speaking of which, let's have a look. We've got some pay-per-views to cover. That's all the events I've done so far. Obviously the main event we told you about was booted pretty quickly. Extreme Rules. So I had Roman defend the championship in a fatal 5-way against Daniel Bryan, Braun Strowman, The Fiend and AJ Styles. Drew McIntyre defeat Randy Orton before an attack from Brock Lesnar. You can see it was all in the push on Drew. Chad Gable defend the championship against Nakamura, retaining his IC belt. And Seth Rollins defeated Rey Mysterio in a ladder match that was just booked horribly by me. King Corbin over Goldberg, just try to get the overness off of Goldberg, get on to Corbin to give him another heel. Edge defeated Bobby Lashley. Asuka submitted Nia Jax. I say her contract's coming up, so she's gone. Matt Riddle defeated Sheamus in a tables match. Bayley defeated Lacey Evans to retain the Women's Championship for SmackDown. Andrade and Angel Garza defeated Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. And John Cena defeat Carlito. Just did. This one, SummerSlam. Now the big problem with SummerSlam was basically managing the crowd, which I'm still not 100% getting right, but which is why Ruby Riott Vitamina's in there. So it was trying to bring the crowd down, and something I need to work on because I'd burnt the crowd out, but it was a stellar show. Drew defeated Brock in a 66 rated match, which was meh. Roman defeated The Fiend by DQ, so he retained his championship. The Fiend did not get pinned. Had Matt Riddle defeat AJ Styles, which got a 77. Seth Rollins defeated Rey Mysterio, a 79, so far better. And Asuka defeated Charlotte Flair to retain the Women's Championship for Raw. Winner the new US champion is Angel Garza, defeated Apollo Crews, Kevin Owens and Finn Balor in Fatal 4-Way action. And the New Day retained their championship against the Usos, the Miz and Morrison, and the Forgotten Sons. So a couple of 4 ways there, and John Cena defeating Andrade. We also had then a big fantasy match because obviously SummerSlam, the big names would be out, and it was a team of Braun Strowman, Goldberg, The Undertaker and Otis defeating King Corbin, Sheamus, Ziggler and Roode, which drew a 70. Sasha defeated Bayley, just a 56. This feud's just not got off the ground, but that's going to remain this year, same as TEW2020. Try and get the women's division over, and hopefully we can. Had Randy Orton defeat Keith Lee, which was a 75, and Edge defeat Bobby Lashley, which was an 81. Nakamura lost again to Gable, which was a 59. Opening contest, Johnny Gargano on the main roster, and he defeated Daniel Bryan in Daniel Bryan's open challenge. So that was the kind of case of anything you can do, I can do better. When Orton beat Keith Lee, but Daniel Bryan put Johnny Gargano over. And I just had Aleister Black, Jeff Hardy, Ricochet take on Shelton, MVP, and Samoa Joe. Now there's a show I want to look for here. Is it that one? No. It's the night after, or the SmackDown after SummerSlam. So you can see there, Johnny Gargano took the Intercontinental Championship from Chad Gable. So really on the push for Gargano. Just in case you wondered when we got to Clash of Champions, why in particular, he was there. But Drew retained his championship against Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns defeated The Fiend as well, which was a bit annoying, but I had to do. You can see I tried to bring the crowd down there with a Lars Sullivan hype package. To try and bring the crowd down as well, I had the Undisputed Era defeat Braun Strowman, The Undertaker, Goldberg and Kane. Obviously Kane took the pinfall here, and Braun Strowman attacking Undertaker post-match to turn him heel, to give me another big over heel. I had Angel Garza defeat Kevin Owens to retain the US title, and Shayna Baszler defeated Asuka by DQ thanks to interference from Charlotte, so she did not win the Raw Women's Championship. Matt Riddle defeated AJ Styles in an 82, close to match of the night, and Andrade defeated John Cena. Sasha Banks defeated Bayley to retain the championship in a 60 rated matchup, and we had the New Day defeat the Forgotten Sons in a 64 rated match. Cesaro defeated Otis to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, so I was getting that off of Otis, and the big push for the Swiss Superman begins. And with Johnny Gargano defeat Daniel Bryan in the opener to retain the IC title, alongside in the pre-show, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeat the Iconics to retain thanks to the Twitch chat. I was unsure, so I let them decide and they put them over. That takes me to the last pay-per-view I've done before this video and before I get to Crown Jewel. I had The Fiend win in the Hell in a Cell, and he has won the Universal Championship. Also, because I thought Drew was pop-capped, because it just wasn't getting over, and Seth was actually getting better over in this. So Seth won against Drew in Hell in a Cell, so he wins the WWE title. So 2 championships changing hands, and his faction there attacking. We'll obviously elaborate on that after we get through these shows. Sasha Banks and Bayley went to a double disqualification. She retains the Women's Championship because Rhea Ripley attacked both women. Braun Strowman beat The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. The New Day defeated the Aussie Alliance in a tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We'll elaborate on that shortly. Daniel Bryan beat AJ, had Andrade over Cena again to get the overness to Andrade. Shayna Baszler defeated Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship, and Angel Garza defeated Finn Balor to retain the US title. Johnny Gargano defeated Matt Riddle to retain the IC title, and in the pre-show I just said Cesaro beat Otis, and the Iconics fail in their chance to become WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So that's where we're at the moment. What I will say is, because I was struggling to gain pop, I'm losing pop in most shows. Like, I'm getting better ratings but losing pop. I decided, because it is to have a bit of fun, you guys, everybody plays the game differently, and I've been talking to Alan about it constantly, like how do I play this game, how do I have the most fun at it, but no, completely, because it is different way you want to play it. Some people play it to manage a wrestling company, some people play it to fantasy book, and I'm thinking I'm on more fantasy booking than anything else, so I turned off strict storylines, and 90 rated matchup. Seth and Keith Lee steal the show. By God, they stole it. So I'm going to run with that for a wee while. Whether that's takes people's fancy or not, it's up to them. But I just felt like, let's try it. And yeah, I might do that more often. So, give you an idea, we're 75, 76 in some places. We're still in the short period for another 45 days. So, that's cool. It's not really important, it's really just a case of fantasy booking. So we're going to end it with the stable, as I said. So the Aussie Alliance, Rhea Ripley's the leader, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink. They will be getting a 6th member to the faction, and that will be Mikey Nichols. So yeah, he'll be back in WWE. So the Mighty Do Not Kneel will be the tag team, and Vink will go on and be the solo muscle of the group. Disciples of Rollins is now Rollins, Fury, Murphy and Lars Sullivan. Lucha House Party remains the exact same. Forgotten Sons remains the same for now. The New Day sees Xavier Woods back shortly, and the UE, as usual, 4. On terms of people coming back, quite a lot soon. Becky and Riddick Moss are still 10 months off. JoJo might never come back, and this I don't know. 2 months and 2 weeks for John Cena. I've just put him on vacation because he was a bit unhappy. But Bobby Fish back in 12 days, Ziggler back in 12, Carlito back in a month from rehab, 40 days for Fandango, 47 for Razar, 12 for Xavier Woods, and 10 months as we already stated for Riddick Moss. So hopefully, by the end of the year, we'll have the Offers of Pain, we'll have the UE back, we'll have Breezango back, and the 3 members of the New Day. So hopefully we can do that. But it's good to get everybody, injuries pop them up and etc. And especially when it's like Ziggler happened at the house show, changes stuff on the fly. It was the first time I'd actually booked the show. Fish get injured in his match, so I had to take him out an angle, so it stopped mid-show, which I thought, great feature. You have to book on the fly. So that's the present state of the WWE. Sister Abigail, if anybody wants to know, because the show probably debuted by the time this video goes live. It's not Sami Zayn. It would be bad if it was, but it's actually Rosemary. She debuts at Crown Jewel. So yeah, well, you wouldn't have seen that, but that's what happened at Crown Jewel. So I'm hoping, as I say, it's looking like with a vote that it'll be more just the pay-per-views as they happen. I'll record them from the stream. I'll fire up OBS Studio alongside OBS Streamlabs, and we'll get that sorted. And yeah, it's just because I know not everybody can watch the streams and vice versa. So as long as everybody can see what happens and they can enjoy the run, like a lot of people seem to have done when it was in TW 2016. Hopefully you can enjoy this journey with me, because not everything will get streamed. There'll be instances where pay-per-views will happen during the night, because obviously I'm playing it offline a lot, so if we can document that, then great. But cheers for watching. As I say, if you like WWE, let me know, in the comments section how your own sales are going, what kind of people you're pushing, what mod you use for it, if you've used Questlabs, The Who's, Landix, just to name a couple that are out there killing the business as well. And yeah, just as I say, thumbs up are appreciated, same as subs. It drops all the videos in. We're just going to go every 2 days. Don't want to give these too much content when it's kind of oversaturating the market. But apart from that, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.